What's up, everyone? This is the Fraser LeVay podcast. It is our weekly podcast with Uncle Blaiso. Stace is not here to go over week 6 recap, as well as talk a little week 7 picks for the upcoming games. Stace, apparently you can't take 2 months off to travel Europe, and then I guess you have to go back to work, and so that just makes sense. Poor Stace.
Remember back when he was like pining to have his name on the podcast, and then like he wanted a contract, and now the guy never shows up. Like,
yeah,
he's
it's
most
typical
inconsistent
union
dude
guys,
ever.
right?
Yeah, well, hey. I don't say typical, but
all right, union guys. Well, yeah, I want to jump into something. I have a stance you're not going to like, which is most of my stances, but I don't even know how to describe this. So I'll just go. It's not like I believe in this. It's just weird. So in football, you can like hit a guy as hard as you want with your shoulder. Let's say, sometimes guys are standing still and guys are just driving as hard as you can. You can open hand a guy to the head. Sometimes it's like 15 yards. If you get in a fight in a skirmish, it's two people. Okay, well, offsetting penalties, it's fine. You can grab a guy's nuts in the pile and like knock a ball out and punch and do all these things, right? And it's like, okay-ish, a little, but God forbid, if you spit, this is where everyone draws the line. It's just like, oh my fucking God, get that guy out of the game. He's finished. And I totally get it. It's just like, it's so weird. Like if someone was looking down on the world and be like, oh, that's where they draw the line, is spitting liquid at a guy.
It's pretty bad.
It is bad, 100%.
It's bad.
It's so weird. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's so
really
disrespectful.
Lame.
It's so disrespectful though. Spitting is bad. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
In a lot of areas, spitting is actually assault because you're actually hurling your bodily fluids at somebody, and who knows what, if someone's spitting at you, you don't know what they have.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe they got some sort of incurable disease and now they're sending saliva your way. So I know it's weird, but that's like, it's so disrespectful and considered assault sometimes. So I don't know. I think you need to let that one go a little bit.
No, I totally get it, but I was just like, staring back. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, it is disrespectful, but like me, I'd rather someone spit at me, I guess, and when I'm wearing a mask, and I don't know, punch me in the face, or but I guess not. Like, I don't know.
So would you rather someone spit at you or just call you a little piece of shit?
Right, and like you can say really bad words, like you can insult my mother. Like I'd rather you. Say this and like, oh, I'm gonna bang your sister or something, or I'd rather you spit than like say you're gonna bang my. I don't know. It's very. I don't know. I totally get it, but you know what I mean. I'm just looking back. I'm like, it's so weird.
Well, your sister's not gonna like you. You're getting dragged into this one.
I mean, I think we've already crossed that bridge anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what though? Like, I thought you were going somewhere else with the penalty thing, and I thought this for a long time. I don't understand why it always offsets. Like, if someone jumps offside and then the other team literally like choke slams somebody in the middle of the field or pile drives them, that's a personal foul, 50 yards. They offset. Like, well, shouldn't like a personal foul should supersede whatever happens on the other side.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, like, if you're a really bad guy coach and you're like, hey, they jumped offside, now I want every single lineman to find their best pass rusher and just bury him.
Yeah.
Crush them. All 5 of you. Go and just pile on. Who cares? Offsets, right?
Yeah.
Like, so to me, that's always I've found that weird. I hate. It's like the 3rd and 18, and then defensive holding that's normally a 5-yard penalty, and then it's an automatic first down. That drives me bananas. Like,
that is a bad one.
I get pass interference because usually a pass interference stopped a big play, right? Or stopped what could have been a first down, but like the little extra shot along the line, they're like defensive holding. Completely away from the play, had nothing to do with it. It's not 3rd and 19 anymore. It's now first down. Like, it's that one to me. I've always found that really, really confusing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to also mention. So I think there needs to be laws like kids can't sit courtside at a basketball game. I believe this. Like, there's spilling drinks. I'm jealous. You don't even watch the game. You're just there because your dad's rich or mom's rich.
Yeah.
We also need to get 80-year-olds off the fucking sideline in the NFL. Another one went down last weekend. And not only that, it was the ball boy. The ball boy, ball boy, what's your job? To watch the fucking ball and not get hit by the quarterback who you're giving balls to and tear your ACL or whatever happened.
It's
Huh.
unreal. Why don't they get it? Why don't they understand? Like it doesn't need. I mean, it's bad enough that we use chains to decide a first down. I mean,
Yeah.
like fine if you want to keep that, but can we just get actual officials then? There's got to be
Yeah.
hungry officials who want to be in the NFL
Hmm.
that are. That's how they earn their stripes. Before they become a side judge or whatever it is they
Yeah.
do the lines. At least they're spry enough to get out of the way. Not
Yeah.
these 100-year-old dudes that they come run onto the field and it takes 3 minutes just for them to get out there and back.
Oh my
It's
god.
or like, come on, NFL, hire ring girls like the UFC
Yeah.
or
Hockey
something like that,
even.
right? Like
Hmm.
something, something
Yeah.
more, anything except for dudes that can't protect themselves standing on the side,
Yeah.
while the greatest athletes in the world in full gear are hurtling towards them, trying to kill each other. And
Yeah.
now we've got Papa Joe standing there smashing his head off the thing, and we delay the game for 5 minutes while he gets up.
Uh,
It's so
it,
backwards. I don't and I get it. They're probably volunteers and they've
mm,
all worked hard in
been
wherever
around
city they
them
have.
for 20,
Yeah,
30
right.
years. And
They've done their time. Yada yada yada. But
yeah.
okay, give them something to do pregame. Like, don't
Yeah.
have them standing. Like, people don't. I don't think, unless you're really really close, understand
Mm,
how big and fast these dudes are.
yeah.
Like, they're literally like refrigerators just flying around out there, and
Yeah.
it's insane to think that we just have these dudes just standing there, 75 years old, holding onto a stick, right? Like, take a foot and a half from the field of
Yeah.
play. It makes no
Uh,
sense
no.
to me at
Uh,
all.
and then if they don't get hit by a player, the one 2 weeks ago trips on the 10-yard cone and cracks his
Yeah,
head open.
just goes down. Like, come on, come
It's
on.
insane.
I know how officiating works in all these sports. There's always someone looking to climb the ladder, right? There's always
Mm,
someone who's just doing high school games, in Carolina, or and he's doing, the junior colleges or whatever it is. Give him a chance to go out there and be around, and he can go into the room with the officials before the game and see how they prep and see how
mm,
they handle their business, right? And then they could take that back and improve so that there's actually some sort of a game plan with officials, because the
yeah.
NFL is the worst officiated league out of all the
Yeah.
major sports by far.
Yeah.
By far, these guys are like, last night's game was, it was
Crazy.
borderline unwatchable at times.
Hmm.
They just can't help themselves. And the dude that the head ref that was doing the announcing, I thought like he looked like he was gonna have a nervous breakdown a couple times just speaking into the microphone.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that ref before. I don't know. It makes it so hard to watch, and I get it. It's things happen fast, and it's not an easy job, right? Like, I obviously I
Mm.
know, officiating is not easy, and I do a ton of it, and it's not in that sport, but like,
But it should
there's
be
got to
easy
be a
for
better
them. They
way.
should be the best of the best, right? What, there's 10 of them who
They
should be
should
the
be, but they're
greatest
they're
of. Yeah.
yeah, but they don't. It's not full time, right? Like, the
Mm.
league won't. They have all this money and they won't get full time officials. So these guys
It's crazy.
they'll have businesses and jobs elsewhere. Then they just come in, get together, and have a weekend with the boys, and go and do a
Hmm.
football game and make a complete mockery of it in most cases.
Yeah.
And
An,
then they're gone.
yeah. A new one for me. I don't know if it's just a rule I didn't know, but last night, was there 3.5 minutes left in the game or the half where they called a foul, but then they said, or if they threw a flag, but they said, oh no, someone at the booth checked it and it's not a flag, and they picked it up. And so it was a booth review, but it wasn't a booth review. It's like kind of what they should be doing all the time, but they just did it for
Yeah,
that one
the
instance. Do you remember
replay
the play
system.
I'm
They did
talking
it a
about?
bunch last night. It happened like 3 times last night.
And I was like, wait, what, is that a thing now, or is it only a thing
Yeah,
when like Rogers
it's
or
the
Josh Allen has it, or like
no,
or Patrick Mahomes? Like, what are you
it's the
doing?
replay assist. Apparently, if they see something egregious, they just call in now and say, "Hey, instead of wasting our time with a challenge, like,
Mm-hmm.
you guys kicked it." And it happened a bunch last night, and I think it's because that crew was so bad. I think they're like, someone was looking out above for them, saying, "Okay, hey, this crew that's out here, they're horseshit, and this is the
Yeah.
first time doing a primetime game. Let's have a whole bunch of people watching to try and clean up their mistakes, so we're not, having 10-minute reviews all the time." And sure as hell, they came into play 3 times. Three different
Mm-hmm.
times they said, due to replay assist, yada yada
Yeah.
yada, change the call.
But is that like, shouldn't that be consistent? Isn't that so? I mean, you just said it. It's like, how fucking weird is it that this isn't a consistent thing across the board in
It,
like the most highest money
it
making league in North America?
yeah, like, it does seem like you don't hear it every game, but it
No.
is a thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the standard is. I mean, maybe just because when it's the only game on, obviously
Mm-hmm.
they have more resources to do it. You're not going to have it for, when you got 11 games going or whatever you have in the early window.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that makes a difference. I don't know, but it sure seemed like it was. It sure seemed like there was an emphasis last night to
Yeah,
help that crew, and my
that was
goodness, did they
bizarre.
need it? Yeah.
Yeah. I keep on wishing Stace was on the pod for the last 8 weeks, but Stace Stradamus, because I wanted to celebrate him. Stace Stradamus first pod says NFC North greatest division in the NFL, and we all laughed. And now he's right. What is going on?
Yeah, like by a long shot too.
Yeah,
You seen their record outside of division?
something has to be insane because everyone's got
Yeah,
one loss, I think.
yeah, it's nuts. It's like 16-4 or something. Like they're so far ahead of every other division. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and now with the 7 teams, there is actually a chance to have like. Can you imagine every single team making the playoffs?
Oh my god,
I think that
I'd
would
be
be cool
upset
as hell.
because I have the Bears to miss the playoffs as my biggest bet of the year. But yeah, that would be incredible.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
look around the NFC, right? Like the East is only sending one team; they're garbage. The
Mm-hmm.
the South, you know, looks like it's gonna be a 2-team race down there, and who knows in the West? Like
Mm-hmm.
I could see those teams with San Fran kind of not making their move yet. Those teams might just eat each other.
Yeah.
Right? You might have a 9 or 10 team or win team coming out of there. So I don't. I think it'd be pretty sweet to if they're like, hey, our whole division just made the playoffs,
Yeah,
and then they just
exactly.
win, and then the semifinals in the NFC is like they're all 4 teams from. I guess it couldn't be,
Yeah.
but that'd be
Uh,
awesome.
which is because like normally it's always been the worst division, and so now
Yeah,
it's nice that they're actually. It's only 6 weeks in, so I'm sure things can change
it is. Who's the best team? Who's the best team there?
in that division.
Yeah,
Ooh, you know me, I just have PTSD with the Vikings, so I can't say that because they'll fuck it up at some point.
yeah,
The Hutchinson injury has to hurt the Lions, and I really like
that's
the
a big one.
Packers. They just have a good defense. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball.
Yeah,
It seems like whoever they put at running back can rush or catch the ball for 8 yards. But that's
Chicago's
I mean,
they're at a different level. They're not
mm,
with those other 3 teams. I don't think like they've had some nice
no,
games, but they've beaten up on some kind of pretty weak
yeah, they haven't
teams.
had a good really team that they've played yet.
No, since Houston, and they got schooled.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great division, especially these last games. There's still tons of games, but
Yeah,
the rest of the divisional games will be good ones.
I think it's gonna be unreal. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there'll be some great football there.
Yeah,
You hope they don't eat each other, right? Like
yeah,
to the point that they, by the time they come through it, and then nobody's any good in the playoffs. Because I think, 3 of the top 5 NFC teams, right, between Minnesota, Detroit, and
yeah,
and Green Bay. Like, who
absolutely.
else in the NFC is better than those 3?
No one,
3 of the
especially
top
with the
4,
Niners
maybe.
being
Right,
terrible.
3 of the top
Oh,
4,
they have to
maybe.
be. Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
yep.
But it's different.
Going to your favorite subject, Sirianni is just the worst person on earth. Oh my
Told you,
god.
man. I've been telling you guys. I've been saying it for years. This guy is an absolute scrub. And then I think he went to a new low this week,
Yes,
and
because
not
I know what you're about to say.
right. Not even the chirping the fans after a win, your own fans. Like that's pretty stupid. But then you bring your kids to a press conference where
Oh my
you're
god.
going to get grilled. Like he knew. Like he took those kids there as a shield. He used his own children as a shield. The guy is such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. Like I don't know. Like
that was disgusting. I agree.
yeah, I know a couple Eagles fans. Mentioned before. They're a painful bunch, and one of them is fully like head in the sand still, and oh no, nothing to see here. We're fine. Everything. The other one hates Sirianni. He's like
Yeah,
the most diehard Eagles fan. He's like, this guy needs to go. I cannot stand him. He was so mad at that press conference thing. He's like, look at this effing coward.
yeah,
And right, it's right. Like of all places, and after what you just did, you're going to get grilled by the media, and then you've
yeah.
got your little, your kids, 3 kids sitting there with you.
Hmm.
That's about as cowardly as it gets.
That really was, and like I couldn't imagine if Jalen Hurts was cursing his fans out and giving them like if Hurts did
Yeah,
that. I mean, the media was already over Sirianni anyways, but if
yeah,
Hurts did that, if like CJ Stroud did that, or if a young 21-year-old rookie did that, oh my god, the rookie would get kicked off the team. It's like,
They
Sirianni,
get
what kind of
blasted. They would get
example are
blasted.
you setting? You
Yeah,
fucking
Hurts
weirdo.
hate Hurts has zero respect for him. You can see it. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got no respect for that guy. Um,
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you like did a silent poll with half that roster, they're all going to say the same thing. They just no respect for him.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches, no respect. I thought Peterson wouldn't get on the flight home, but they have another game in London, so I guess he has
Yeah,
to stay there. But
they got to
I'm not
stay.
like a I'm not like a coach guru. Like I don't see things like, oh yeah, that's not this XYZ, but like they were not playing for him at all in that Bears game. Like I was watching it, there was
Oh,
just zero effort, flags, like the dumbest flags. There was too many men. They could have gotten off the field, I think, 3 times near the end of the game and made it close. And they had the
yeah,
dumbest flags you've ever seen, like third and long.
it's terrible. And but it's not just last week. It's been like that all along. And
Mm-hmm.
then he's come out 2 weeks in a row and be like, you know what? We got to change the culture around here. It's not where we need to be at. You stupid prick. That's your job.
You're the culture.
You are just supposed to set the culture.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to change it. Yeah, you're right. You just signed yourself your own pink slip.
Yeah.
Like the owner must have looked
Absolutely.
at that and been like, "Hey, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Let's change the culture here, Doug. Let's get
Who's it
you
we
a
used to
nice little
say?
seat home."
We used to say had like must have nudes of the owner and like it's just
Has to.
blackmailing him.
Yeah,
Has to. Oh, it was the
has
old
to.
Detroit Lions guy. And then he's like a commentator. We'd always say he had nudes of like the commissioner in the
Oh, the
NFL. 'Cause-
GM, Matt
yeah.
Millen.
Yeah. Matt Millen's always everywhere. Like, this guy's
Yeah,
so bad at everything.
everything. Yeah, he must just have something on the NFL office. They're just like,
Yeah,
keep him employed. Just we have to keep him employed, or he's going to spill the
exactly.
beans on everything. Everything. But
Uh,
listening to Simmons this week was hilarious. They're talking about Doug Peterson, and they're like, are they worried about sending him home? Why not just fire him now? Like, are you worried about saving the $1,800 on a seat? Like, just to send him on his own plane? You're waiting until you all fly back. They
yeah.
started calling him middle seat Doug. Like, just get him a middle seat on Delta Airlines and just ship him off. Like, why keep him? You know,
Yeah.
he's not staying.
Yeah. It's so bad.
He's not
Uh,
staying. They should be on the phone already with Mike Vrabel and be saying, hey, like, what do you think?
hmm.
Can we get you back in the division here? Because that's what they
Yeah.
need. They need somebody who can set a tone down there. I
Yeah.
think they have some good players, don't they? Seems like.
Yeah. That's the thing. It seems all effort because all their players are doing
Yeah.
nothing, like not rushing the passer. Even like their running backs,
Yeah.
the tank I guess does all right, but they're just a
And
pure
now they're in
effort thing.
Europe. Now they're over in Europe for the week. They get their off day. Half of them probably hit that train to get to Amsterdam. They're having a good old
Yeah,
time. They don't give a fuck about that game on Sunday.
exactly.
I hope, anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't.
I hope they show up just waiting to take a licking because
Yeah,
it's coming.
I know you're anti Reddick and his holdout, but I think we've talked about this before. Owners have to have like a thing like, hey, you can't sign Reddick. Like holdouts, every owner there has to be collusion, being like, there's absolutely no way any of us can ever allow this to happen. Because if he gets it, then it's just going to be open season, right?
I think it's maybe an unsaid thing,
Mm.
right? Same as the Deshaun contract when it first came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, wow, this is the new norm. The quarterbacks'
Mm.
contracts are going to be fully guaranteed anymore." And all the other owners were just like, "Nope, no, that's not happening. No,
Yeah,
we're not falling for that trick." And there hasn't been
yeah,
there's been some really nice contracts, but nothing that's been like fully
yeah,
guaranteed like his. So um,
definitely.
they're a bunch of greasy bastards, though, right? But that's how they get
Yeah,
like to be that rich is they're
yeah,
unified and it would I think they're smart enough now, and they've been hit in the past with some issues. I think they're smart enough to not kind of have it be on record, but they're all of the same mind. And yeah, you're right. They're saying, "Hey, don't cave on this guy because
mm.
now you're just making it harder on the rest of us."
Yeah,
But he's gonna get traded now.
yeah.
I think that's the whole thing
Interesting.
about getting a new agent. Is now he's got Drew Rosenhaus, and he's saying, "Hey, can you give me time to work out a trade?" But if you're
Mm.
Detroit, do you
Yeah,
not offer them, a fourth round pick or fifth round pick and be like, "Here you go,
absolutely.
replace Hutch"?
Across the board, there's definitely some teams that could use them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got another unpopular opinion, and I don't fully believe this, and you're not going to love it, but I'm just getting growing tired. I'm growing tired a little bit of George Kittle's act.
What?
I know, but hear me out. It's only because he always searches for the TV afterwards. Like he's just very. I love getting hit. I love just being that like which is great. Totally respect it. A
Yeah.
man's football player. Oh yeah, contact. People love it. I'll give it to me more, more, more. And it's like, why don't your team would love like if you could play every 4 games? Like, there's no shame in just protecting your body a little bit versus being like, I need to. And I'm okay if he's that gruff and then just was kind of quiet into himself. But he's like, after each play, he's like, where's the camera? So I like it. I'm just kind of like, don't be flamboyant
I don't
and like
know.
the I love contact. And then
Yeah.
he's hurt in the Super Bowl. Why not? You could have done is just not try to be like the toughest guy in the room and play the entire game healthy kind of thing.
But that's how he's
I love how he
wired. That's how he
plays.
got there. That's how he got
I know.
there. He can't, Leopard can't change his spots that easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think these might be the pain meds that are getting to you a little bit here. You're just dreaming up reasons to be upset because
Yeah.
getting mad at George Kittle for being too physical is a weird one.
I mean, I think his team would love if he was on the field when it matters some of the time is all. He's always hurt. All the time. And I mean, not, pick your battles. Like quarterback slide here and there, get out of bounds here and there.
Yeah.
But I do love it. I love that he plays that way.
He's been there in the playoffs, hasn't he?
No, because in the Super Bowl last year, he was hurt like the whole second half. He played like 2 snaps. He couldn't play because he was.
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
It's just like take care of your body a little bit, but I mean that's hard to say because obviously we love when people just give their body. So I mean you can't really.
Yeah.
I'm not really killing him for that. It's just when he makes sure to find the camera afterwards, and he's got all his stuff.
I haven't seen that. So you must really not have been happy when him and the Juice jumped into the stands to say hi to their wives. You must have really been pissed about that one, hey?
Yeah. Well, it was just like the receiver show. He's just very, I don't know. I don't mind it. It's just kind of like pick one side or the other. Like don't be like, oh, look at me. I don't know.
You can really tell when you look at some behaviors and interview stuff, the guys that are trying to set themselves up for a career after football.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's quite obvious that he wants to be in the media, doing whatever, right? Like whether he's doing games or if he's a McAfee clone or whatever it is, it's quite obvious that's what he wants, and so he's setting it up, right? Like
that's maybe what it is. I just feel like it's a little bit of an act, which is totally fine. I totally respect it, but it's just kind of it's growing not necessarily thin on me. It's still thick. It's not thin, but just something I'm keeping an eye on.
Keeping an eye on. I think you're reaching a little bit there. Surely there must be other things that are pissing you off more than that.
That's true. I just feel like he's always the receiver show. He's just weird and I don't know. Yeah, he's still great.
He's a different cat, man. He's just wired differently.
Definitely. A quick winner. I meant to mention it when we were talking about the Vikings, but me. I think this is the first time in my life where football has actually been a good thing. The Vikings, best team in the league. My Mahomes, Texas Tech, best team. That's why I like Mahomes. For anyone who doesn't know, Texas Tech, best team in the league. And then Texas Tech. This isn't going to last whatsoever, but we're the best team in the Big 12. I don't think this has ever happened in my life.
Well, the Crabtree days, right?
Yeah,
Graham Harrell and Crabtree.
Well, I meant like in terms of all three, or sorry, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Vikings being good and Texas Tech.
If you had to guess,
played anyone, so
if you had to guess which Cinderella slipper is going to fall off first, Vikings
Texas Tech for sure.
Yeah.
They always start kind of good because they don't play too many good teams, and then once they really play the conference teams and some good teams, we get absolutely shelled.
But that conference is wide open right now. Like that
sure is.
There's really, Utah was supposed to be a big deal. Their quarterback's done. He's now might get an 8th year to play. Yeah, I just saw that yesterday. Dude's got like 2 mortgages and a family, and now he just got hurt again. So they're talking he might get an 8th year of eligibility, which is awesome. And BYU is like the top team. So like Oklahoma State's down. I think Iowa State's pretty good. But,
you're right. There's no real major top dog.
Nah.
Not a chance.
No. See if it lasts. College football, by the way, is it's fire. It's
chaos.
It's the best. Like when I was way younger, like I always preferred college ball to the NFL. I don't know why, I just liked it. And then Tom Brady came to the Patriots, and it was a 2-decade run. So of course I kind of veer more NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But the last couple of years, like this year especially, college football is unreal. In these new conferences, like
Mm-hmm.
every week now, there's just these enormous games. Like last
Yeah.
week was 2 versus 3. This week is what 1 versus 5. Texas and
Mm-hmm.
Georgia. Alabama, I think, plays Tennessee. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always a massive games now. And even like 2 weeks ago, when there wasn't supposed to be a massive game, then 4 of the top 11 teams lose.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Like I'm enjoying college football way more than the NFL right now, and I just you know I just love the just the excitement and the
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere of those stadiums. Like that LSU Ole Miss game Saturday night was bonkers.
Yeah.
That place looked wild. You see what happened at Vanderbilt. I don't know. It's such a great scene in college ball right now.
Yeah, it's also nice because they're such kids, so you can never really trust that they can hold the lead or won't fumble
Yeah,
the ball or won't do something stupid. So it adds that
yeah,
element of just we don't know what's going to happen next.
for sure. Or who's going to show up from week to week, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you go out. Alabama, lays a beating on Georgia 3 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago they lose to Vanderbilt. I mean,
Yeah,
turns out Vanderbilt, I guess, is actually pretty good, but still, you just never know what these kids are going to do.
absolutely.
And Notre Dame's going to make the playoffs, so I'm pretty happy about that.
You think?
Oh, they better. I mean,
Yeah,
you know what? They actually do have some sneaky tough games because don't laugh, but Army and Navy are both really good this year.
yeah. I
Like
guess they're ranked for the
they're
first time
both
in
ranked
what?
and undefeated. Like and they are mashing people. So um, hopefully they don't slip up against one of those two. But
Yeah,
and then USC will be a tough one.
yeah. A quick loser is Ohio State's claim of being wide receiver U. I just feel like
Oh,
LSU head and shoulders.
oh
Marvin
yeah,
Harrison's kind of hasn't done much. And then he got
yeah,
concussed and yeah. So
yeah. I don't think you get much argument there. I mean, just
yeah,
Chase and JJ,
alone.
right? Like hello,
Yeah.
you could just stop with those two almost. The two best receivers in the league.
And then I wonder if you change Marvin Harrison to like any other name. I wonder he looks really good and smooth, but he's been
Yep,
good, but not like Malik
he's been
Neighbors has
fine.
been lighting the world
Yeah,
on fire, which you thought he would have done.
yeah. He's
And
not
he's doing
he's not
Daniel
better than
Jones.
right, two guys from LSU, right? Brian Thomas
Exactly.
and Neighbors before he got hurt. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think you're right there. I think safely to say that LSU is where the wide. Although that 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 freshman up at OSU, that kid is an animal.
Oh yeah.
My God, did you see the play 2 weeks ago when he like just basically held on to the dude's shirt with one hand and just stiff armed him, and then just went up and just caught it just like this?
Yeah. It was
It was
insane.
unreal.
Yeah. That guy and the guy from Arizona are just in their own levels.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Um, I was gonna go through a couple games. The Buck Saints. Oh, I was gonna say the AFC or the NFC South is just absolutely the most chaotic, exciting division. Even if it's shit teams, they still, I guess, aside from Carolina, but Saints are
Yeah,
putting up 50 points and they're putting up 30. Then the Bucks are doing this and they're losing. It's must see TV whether they're winning or losing.
it is, and it's exciting too. Like the Bucks are fantastic watch right now.
Hmm.
Bakesy's doing his thing.
Yeah,
Their defense is pretty good. Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of
yeah,
fun. But I think the Saints are starting to get crippled by injuries, right? Like
yeah,
they they're looking at not having either receiver, and they play Thursday night this week. So Olave's hurt. Shaheed didn't practice. Um, they had some dude, and I was watching the game with a Saints guy, and he's like, who are these dudes? One guy got a touchdown. He's like, I've never heard of this guy ever. He just got a touchdown pass on Sunday. So yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting.
Uh, uh, and the Bucks can just run anyone they want. Some guy off the street just comes and runs for 150 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, right. I
Oh
know
my god!
that was money.
They need a Rashad White trade to the Cowboys. That's what I think should happen.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I mean, yeah, get rid of his money. The Cowboys need a running back.
True.
Apparently, the two Bucks guys can handle really well without him.
Yeah, I don't really know. That's a good call, actually.
Yeah,
But
thought so.
Jerry's not going to do that. Jerry's
No.
sleeping.
Yeah.
It was how great was Sunday, by the way, seeing them get just
Oh my
absolutely
god.
mollywopped on his birthday.
Mollywopped. Whew.
Oh, just an
We're gonna have to
absolute beating.
We're gonna have to edit that out.
I don't know if we are. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just kidding.
What's wrong with that? Just a drubbing. Like, what did they do? 'Cause I think Campbell played there. Was he ever an assistant coach there?
I'm not sure.
They did something to piss him off at some point because,
Yeah.
my God, like we joked earlier in the year about the Rams getting Dan Campbell in overtime, like on that one
Yeah.
drive. I mean, the Cowboys got it for 60 minutes. Like, Dan came back more than once to the old Cowboys house,
Yeah.
and that was amazing.
That
That
was
was I loved
incredible.
it. They're lining up hoggies at wide receiver and have throwing play action passes and doing a hook and ladder. Like there's just
Yeah.
it was like a cat playing with its food, and a cat has like a
Yeah.
half dead bird or mouse and they like swat it, let it run away, and then they pounce on it. That's what they were doing. They were just
It really
absolutely
was.
playing with their food.
The video you can open I sent you was a Cowboys, like a woman fan of the Cowboys. She was on her hands and knees on the concourse,
Yeah.
vomiting, just full puking, and a guy in the Lions jersey doing the gritty beside her. She's just puking. It's like, oh my God. It was the cherry on the cake for Detroit Lions fans and Cowboys fans.
It's so good. So good.
What did the Cowboys do? That they just screwed, I guess? Oh, breaking news. Amari Cooper traded to the
Oh, where?
Bills.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that move for the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't love that move for Blaiso's fantasy team that has Tupac Shakur as a starting receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
That's no good.
Buffalo will send us third and a seventh round pick.
Nice.
Holy. That's going to be
Nice.
incredible.
That is. He's got some juice still.
And he seems like he's pretty like quiet, not like a.
Yeah, he just plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just plays.
Holy.
Huh.
They won't get rid of Deshaun
Though,
Watson, but Amari Cooper they'll get rid of. That's where the squeaky wheel.
I like that too. I like both the Jets and the Bills pouncing on available receivers before the Chiefs get to.
Yeah. No
Right?
doubt.
They're like, no, we can't let him go to the Chiefs.
No.
Like it was probably, had to sweeten the pot. Even if they did, so be it.
Yeah. Wow.
So be it.
What a good week so far.
Yeah.
Good day.
What do you think of the Adams trade?
That was nice too. I mean, I feel like I feel the same way about Adams as you do about Rodgers. I just feel like they're a little bit whiny, so I kind of like them together. So now they can kind of go down in flames if they end up not doing too well. That throw by Rodgers last night, the one where it's kind of like a back shoulder and it went by the defender's hip. Oh my God, that was incredible.
Right.
I think it was to Lazard. It was like, whew. It couldn't have gone anywhere else. It just hit only the piece of the Lazard that was showing, and
totally.
Lazard had to catch it. He's, like you said before, he's got some zip still in his throws, but
he does. He can still do it, man. He can still do it. We missed last week all the drama. We missed all the Rodgers drama last week. It's probably not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Did you see him when he was on McAfee?
No.
Oh, he's so full of shit. It's unbelievable.
Like, I did see that where he should have said that out of the jump, right? He kind of like said what he should have said a week later, like, oh no, like whatever it was.
Yeah, he's a clown.
Like to cover his tracks, essentially, which made it look worse because it's like, no, you already said this. You can't cover your tracks now.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's him.
Yeah.
But getting Devontae Adams there now. Yeah, that offense is pretty tough last night.
Yeah.
But that said, they still only scored 20 points and 7 of them were on Hail Mary. So, maybe he's the difference. Maybe he's the guy in the red zone that Rodgers wants. Who knows?
Yeah.
They don't really have a tight end, right? So, kind of need that other guy he can trust in the red zone.
Yeah. Yeah, and then wow, I still can't get over the Bills. They're going to be incredible. They already were incredible, but
yeah, no, that's a good one. But can we talk about that Hail Mary? When are teams going to learn? Like they rush 2. Like, come on, just go get them. Just like that he's throwing a bomb.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, ridiculous. And then after I texted you, did you watch the replay and watch number 7?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure you'll see it again. You got to watch 7. He's like in front of the receiver, and then it's like he's trying to post out in basketball, which I think he's supposed to do. But then he just is like bending over. It's like he's reaching for his shoes or something like that, and he does nothing. It was like the old Madden play where your defender is chasing the ball carrier, and all of a sudden he just gets pulled away. That's what happened there. I'm like, dude, do something. He literally just bent over in front of the guy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I feel like the NFL is just all rigged because they were showing like, oh yeah, this is Rogers Hail Marys, and it was
Yeah,
like, really, you're gonna show all four, and then this one just lands?
yeah. Let's add this one to the mix.
Yeah,
It's uncanny though, really, when you
it
think
really
about it.
is.
Like
Hmm.
how he gets it done. It's wild.
Yeah. I was thinking we can recap some of the week 6 games through talking about the week 7 lines, unless you have any other stuff that comes back from last week games.
No, no, yeah, that
I mean,
works.
there's, yeah, I
That
mean, the
works.
Commanders Ravens was a great one, back and forth. Obviously, like
Yeah,
two incredible quarterbacks.
that's good. I think that really showed though what the commies are going to be. Right, their defenses.
Hmm.
I told you 2 weeks ago, their defense is fool's gold, man. They're
Hmm.
doing well because Jaden was getting them a lead, but if they got to
Yeah,
play real good offense, they're not it. They got bullied,
yeah.
and there'll be more of that. But that said, if Jaden can keep them in games, there's no reason they can't contend for that division. I mean,
Hmm.
Philly can barely beat the Browns, and the Browns don't have a quarterback. Like
Yeah.
they got to do taking snaps, but they don't actually have anybody playing the position. So
And you got to think in the trade season, and especially next year, they have to have tons of money, right? Like who's making money on the Redskins or on the Commanders? Anyone?
well, there's 2 D tackles. One of them, Allen, he's out for the year
Hurt?
now.
Yeah.
And they got a few guys on the O line that they signed this year, but
But
yeah,
nothing
really,
huge,
there's
right?
nothing. No, they'll be able to
Mm,
spend some money in the off season.
yeah. Yeah, it could be a nice because didn't they? I mean, everyone's been saying for the last couple of years they got a new GM, obviously a new owner a few years
Yeah,
ago, but they've really turned
yeah,
things around a little bit.
yeah. Brighter days in Washington. Uncle Bud's
Mm,
pretty happy these days.
yeah, especially if they nailed the Jaden Daniels pick, which so far it seems like it
Yeah, it
has
looks like
been.
they did.
Mm. All right, well, Broncos Saints, terrible Thursday night game to start.
Ugh.
The Broncos are favored. I guess that must mean Rattler's starting.
Yeah, Rattler starting,
Okay.
and they have nobody. He has no receivers.
Yeah, and
Like,
Broncos have had a pretty good defense so far.
yeah. What's the line on that? What do you have on that one? I got.
2.5 is like the most updated.
Oh wow, mine says 1.5. So I'm just gonna jump a well. But you still got Bo Nix. The
Yeah,
Saints defense is still going to be all right.
yeah. I feel like you
Uh,
couldn't convince me either way which team could win by like it should be a pick 'em. They're both kind of shit right now with what they've got their situations.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Where do you rank? I guess we can do this maybe in a few weeks. We'll have to do a rookie quarterback rankings once we see
Yeah,
a bit more of Drake May.
Drake Mays is at number 1.
Yeah. You look good. Oh yeah, we can give you your time to talk about
He
Drake
looks
May.
good. He looks
Yeah.
good. As good as he can look with
Mhm.
at one point, the starting line consisted of uh, their one dude who's actually kind of reliable playing right guard, another guy that was on their practice squad that they brought up at the start of the year to play left guard. Uh, Both tackles they picked up on waivers this year from other teams that they cut, and
Mhm.
a center who they picked off the Raiders practice squad on Thursday. That was the O line that he has to play behind,
Yeah.
and it's just they, but they actually held up as well as the line has pretty much all year. So,
Mhm.
um, I think you mentioned it a couple weeks ago when you have just that ability of him to move around a little bit, it does kind of help the line. It does
Mhm.
slow the rush down a tad, but yeah, man, he makes some plays. He can run.
Mhm.
His accuracy still, he missed some pretty easy throws, but the thing that I love was that he had a crosser to Demario Douglas, and he kind of threw it behind him a little bit. If he gets it out front, it was a touchdown. Like he would have
Mhm.
outrun the guy. Next quarter, they did the exact same play, but the other direction, and
Mhm.
threw it out front, and boom, took it to the house. So
Nice.
he's a smart kid. He learns. He's a beast of an athlete, man. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
be. I was pretty excited. Our defense
Yeah.
was absolute trash, and that it made me want to vomit watching it. But yeah, Maisie's the real deal.
I didn't see much of the game. Did he take any big hits, or was he pretty smart about
One
getting down?
one
And
huge hit.
oh
Like
yeah.
really bad was slow getting up, and it was right after it's right coming out of halftime. First play in the third quarter, running back runs into the line, gets face masked, spins his head all the way around, tackles him, and everyone on both teams looking around, and all the refs are just standing there. Nobody threw a flag, and then the next play, they he just blows up one of those tackles that I mentioned that was cut by somebody, and an absolute shot on Maisie and a fumble. But yeah, he got up pretty slow, but he came right back. So the kid's tough as nails. He's this might be pushing it a little bit because who knows if he gets to where that is. But as a rookie, he's a more polished Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Big, fast, rocket for an arm.
Yeah.
But a little more polished than Josh was coming in. So if he heads in that trajectory, I'll be quite happy.
No doubt. I guess the next game was Patriots Jaguars. Oh my God. I wish you didn't see any of these lines so I could just surprise you with them. But the Jaguars are -5.5 point favorites.
Oh boy. That's the only one I've seen, so we're good. I won't look at my other ones.
Okay.
That's gotta be just they're in London and they're used to it, and their internal clock, blah blah blah, and the other team's flying over. It's got to be the reason it's that high.
Yeah,
come on. Although
it's the Jaguars, they're so bad.
They are so bad. I could see it if they did fire Dougie P, and they were like, okay, we're going to start playing hard for a new coach. But the fact that he's still there, that's a win for the Patriots as far as I'm concerned. Having him around, I don't know. I'll take those points all day.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll probably win outright.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Well, next one, shit game. Bills Titans. Bills are 9-point favorites. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Where is it?
In Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, we've talked about Will Levis a ton about his lack of self-awareness. By him doing the Spider-Man fingers, I'm like, why are you doing the Spidey fingers? You're the worst quarterback in the league. Like, enough.
Yeah.
Give me a first down or give me but like trying to do little Spidey.
No, go to the huddle. You don't get to celebrate. It is all the dumb shit you've done this year. You don't get to celebrate.
Yeah.
But
especially with that.
We have found somebody though with less awareness than Will Levis. And that's the mayonnaise company that gave him his own commercial.
Oh, really?
Have you not seen this?
No.
He has a mayonnaise commercial. They showed it during the games.
Holy.
Like, why on earth would you give that guy a commercial? And it didn't just play on like the local Nashville like TV station, right? It was on like during the NFL game. I'm watching it going, why the So yeah, that mayonnaise company, they have less awareness than he does.
That's fair. All right.
Not by a bunch.
We have to make an all worst awareness team. So we got Levis, the mayonnaise company, Sirianni, Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Gerald Wayne Jones Sr. is an American.
Siri just checked that. Siri checked Jerry Jones on me.
Oh wow! Did she agree that he was had very little awareness, self-awareness?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, I guess she heard Sirianni and she thought it was her. Fuck off.
Ah, Siri. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sirianni, give me some Jerry Jones info.
Yeah. Colts, Dolphins, another shit game. Colts, 3.5 favorites. I guess it depends who they're starting at quarterback, but it has to be Flacco, right?
No, they already came out and said it's AP.
Richardson? No.
AR, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. Lack of awareness. The coach of the Colts that's starting Richardson over Flacco.
Unreal, hey?
What's Flacco's record? Isn't it 2-0 or 2-1?
I think they lost a close one. But
716 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 102 rating. I mean, he's been 10 teams would take him.
100%. Like it makes no sense.
Huh. Oh, more lack of self-awareness. Oh, this list keeps getting better. Speaking of the Dolphins, Tua is coming back soon. I guess they just want him to die on the field. We're not happy until a full gladiator death on the field is going to happen.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
So true. But they say he's fine. I don't know.
They said he was fine the other time.
That's true. They also said the one time he didn't have a concussion. So I mean, take that for what it's worth. Like, guys, we saw that he has a concussion. Like,
yeah.
We're
watching the TV.
Yeah. Remember when I texted you last night? They show Rodgers and he's on the sideline, like holding his head and rubbing his temple. They're like, nah, we're good here. But like, the receiver gets hit hard on the sidelines. Like, who was it? I can't remember which game I turned to, and the receiver took a pretty hard hit, and he kind of popped up. Like, They didn't look bad. And they're like,
Yeah.
tent. We the spotter upstairs says you might have concussion.
Yeah.
And on national TV, they're showing Rogers like trying to literally get rid of the cobwebs and figure out where he is, and they're just like, I think he's good.
And
We're not going to
Josh
check him.
Allen. Josh Allen was full knocked out, and they're like,
Yeah,
no,
the
it
week
didn't
before.
happen.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Didn't happen. Never
No
happened.
concussion. No. Yeah, so as long as you're a quarterback and you don't do like the Spidey Claw, they're just going to say you don't have a concussion.
Exactly. It's too good. Has to be the game of the week. Actually, a couple games of the week, but this will be the game of the week. Lions Vikings. Lions favored 2.5
Oh, where is it?
in
Gotta be in
Minnesota.
Detroit. Lions favored in Minnesota.
No, sorry, Vikings favored 2.5.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, that's a pick.
That's fair, right? That's the home team bump. Usually they say like they bump 3 for the home team, so basically they're saying Minnesota's a half point, or Detroit's a half point favorite, or just leave the betting line at 2.5. Yeah, that's a great game. That's got to be that. Is that an afternoon game? I hope like
morning game.
That'd be a good one to have as a feature game.
Yeah, shit is, and everyone talks about it all the time. But there's only 3 afternoon games and 6 morning games. Stupid.
It is. Let me guess: Cowboys, Raiders, and what other team has turned out to be horseshit that we got to watch in the afternoon?
Yeah,
Arizona.
Exactly. I guess that'll be a good one. I feel like the Vikings can. How this goes, we can kind of. I mean, I guess they are for real, but this is like a for real game.
Yeah, that's a nice battle in the trenches. I think that's a good one. That's a good one.
Like I don't want Hutchinson to be hurt. It's good for the Vikings, but it's also just bad for the league, obviously, because you want to see them at full strength, doing what they can do.
God, he is such an animal. Absolute animal.
I wonder how much that changes their team, because, I mean, he really obviously is the heart of the defense and one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game, Bengals-Browns. Bengals 6-point favorites. Have they won 2 straight? Against shit teams, right? The Bengals?
No, they lost last week, but they put up like 40 points and lost to the Ravens in overtime.
Yeah, and I guess they've only beat the Giants and the Panthers, so not really incredible.
Yeah, that's going to be a sloppy game. No, thank you. That won't make it on the TV. Yeah.
No, Browns owner gets added to the lack of self-awareness list for one, the worst signing ever, as we know.
The worst trade, the worst maybe transaction in NFL history between the trade, the contract. Like it might be the worst. It's not might. It is. It's the worst transaction in league history.
So the worst 3 transactions in league history. Number 1, the Deshaun Watson. Number 2, is it the Herschel Walker Vikings?
That trade did not turn out great. Yes.
No. And do you remember off the top of your head, it like ended up Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and then like 3 other pretty solid players?
No, it wasn't Aikman. It was like Woodson, Sharper. Like it was a huge core of their defense. A couple like key hoggies. Like it was like 8 dudes who ended up contributing to their Super Bowl runs. It was. I felt
like it was Emmitt was in there as like one of the
Emmitt might have been,
picks.
but Aikman wasn't for sure.
Okay. Like a draft pick ended up being Emmitt Smith a year or 2 later or something.
That could be, but certainly not Aikman. But I know that like every dude, when you go through it, I mean, they were all dudes that like became big parts.
And then a tied for 3rd worst. There's only recent history, but I feel like it still is either the Russ trade or the Panthers trade. Those have to be right there.
Yeah, how do you pick between? I think it's looking like the Panthers so far. No, I mean, the Seahawks. Or the Broncos gave up some first-round picks, but they didn't turn out to be Caleb Williams or Jalen Carter or whatever. Top,
legit dudes,
1st and 5th pick or whatever the hell it was. Like,
and while who you gave up ended up just being an absolute stinker.
Yeah, that one's bad. That one's terrible. Yeah. I think I'm putting that one worse. I mean, the Russ contract obviously is a killer, but. And I think this is what Cleveland's going to have to do next year. Is what Denver's done. Is basically say, okay, well, we'll say if we owe Russ $40 million, we got to get a rookie quarterback, and basically you just put the 2 contracts together and say, well, we're just paying our quarterback $41 million like everybody else.
Yeah,
right? And that's what Cleveland's going to have to do. Like they're just going to because they can't keep playing that guy, but they
No.
can't get rid of him, so they're gonna have to just draft a rookie and play him, and then
I would
just
have
eat
thought
that
that
money.
whole next assault that went against him, I thought that would have been he paid them out. So like surely that has to be cause for firing, but it must be in his contract that's not.
No, you pay
So,
someone out, no, the details don't come out. That's the whole point of doing it.
but I feel like having that around the team, can that be conduct? I'm sure whatever is in his contract, I guess it
Yeah, for what?
isn't, or he would have been cut.
For
Yeah,
what? You pay a woman some money to not talk? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
without the
crazy.
details, they can't. They can't
Mm.
prove anything. That's why these guys settle on all these ones, right?
Yeah,
It's not the first time. I look at other sports. You know, the Ben Roethlisberger, his went away. Kobe Bryant, his just went away, right? Like eventually, you just cut a check and these things go away. Then there's no case, right? There's no case
yeah,
to work against you.
no, definitely. Next game, second game, best game of the week. Ooh, two of the best quarterbacks in the league. Texans Packers in Green Bay.
Ooh,
Packers are favored 2.5.
Wow, that is a nice game.
And that's a
CJ
morning game
Stroud is
too.
so good. He's so well, both of those quarterbacks. That's a fun one. Please tell me that's an afternoon game.
Nope. Why would it
God
be,
damn
Blaze?
it.
We've got. Why would it be when you can have Panthers, Commanders, and Raiders, Rams?
It's like they don't pay attention.
No. Although I guess you could have thought Panthers, Commanders could have been good if the rookies were all right.
You could never thought it was good. They picked 1 and 2 in the draft last year.
Yeah.
There's zero reason for that game to not be done in the morning window, if not
Absolutely.
earlier or on like Wednesday.
Yeah.
When you did the schedule, because you didn't know. You knew that what Bryce was. You didn't know if Kayla or Jaden was going to be any good. There's no reason to have that game as a standalone or almost a standalone. In most markets.
But yeah, I mean, again, just kind of who knows who could win that game. Both playing lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, great game.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's a coin flip, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the
Next
weather.
game. Yeah.
That time of year in Green Bay.
Good call. I wonder, they can both run the ball really well too, especially with Mixon back.
Yeah.
So, Seahawks, Falcons. Falcons are 3-point favorites at home.
At home? Yeah.
Yep.
Seahawks are just, unless they start getting some guys back on defense, they got no hope. Like, they can't stop anybody.
Yeah, they haven't looked good.
And your boy Kirk, you conveniently didn't have a podcast last week after his performance the week before. Hey, it's 500-yard, 4 touchdowns.
Oh, my God.
Fourth quarter comeback, overtime drive to win it. I mean, like, what a show he put on.
I mean,
and you were, of course, magically, I can't do a podcast this week, guys.
Overtime drive, it was kind of like you said with Jalen Milroe's touchdown to the wide open dude. It was like he threw it to a wide open guy in the middle of the field who ran for 50 yards to score.
There was 3 plays before that.
Okay.
They weren't stopping him regardless. That stage was already set.
That's what he does. Well, I'm glad. One of my losers of the week is last week would have been the Falcons fans, because this is what Kirk does. He has this weird game. He had the game with the Bills where he did the same stuff, and you'll see, mark my words, it happens every year. You get, oh my God, he can do it all, and then the wheels fall off. He's like Tua.
He'll take him to the playoffs, and if you're a Falcons fan, that's a win.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. I mean, yeah, it's definitely exciting. What would have made it worse, Blaze? You would have hated it. So Swag Surfing is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And it just gets me hyped like no other. And then sure enough, after the game, that's what the Falcons do.
Oh,
it's like,
boy.
Swag. And Kirky's doing it.
Is that when he was doing the...
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. I just assumed it was like a Beach Boy song or something. And he was the only one who could hear it.
No, it was definitely a hard rap song. And I was just like, oh, if Blaze was next to me, he'd be losing his mind.
Wow, that is awesome. It's like he hears you and he's just right in your grill. He's like, 26th, hey, motherfucker. All right.
Yeah, let's
watch
go.
this.
Oh, Kirky. A weirdly good but shit game. Eagles Giants.
Shit.
In New York.
Not even worth watching.
Eagles are 3-point favorites.
Yeah.
What's the Giants' record? 2-4. I thought it could have been.
Giants defense is good now, right? And it's going to, your first instinct is say Saquon revenge game, but that defense is going to be out to prove that, hey, Saquon should have never left. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles just lost their left tackle too for a while. That's a tough one, and they get a lot of pressure with their D line. So Hurts, he's going to throw at least one to the wrong team and probably fumble as well. So you can almost count on those betting wise.
And Sirianni doing something stupid, and
Oh, for sure. God, he's an idiot.
The Giants, I mean, they've only done it when they played shit teams, but I mean, when Malik Neighbors is on the field, the Giants have a half decent offense too.
Yeah, that's the big one. If he ever comes back, they can be at least competitive on offense. But
is there talk he won't come back this week? I thought it would have been like a foregone conclusion he's back. No?
Oh, wow.
No, I was saying, do you know? Yeah.
I haven't heard anything, but
because that's crazy. It didn't look that bad, like something that would keep him out from. I thought it was going to be back last week.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hopefully.
I did a quick Google, ruled out. That hasn't said anything coming up. Huh.
Yeah, there won't be any updates for a while. It won't be like our idiot coach who decided to make a quarterback change and then tell everybody on Tuesday. It's like, why tell anyone?
Yeah.
Right? Like, tell the team and don't tell anyone else. And then they can be expecting, Jacoby the statue back there. Maybe you can, surprise them. We had to do something to try and win that game. Like, we weren't going to just do it straight up.
Yeah.
Now, let's tell everybody Tuesday. Fucking idiot.
Do you want any trades for the Patriots in trade season, or is it just not worth it?
No.
Have a throwaway season-ish?
Well, I want them to just keep playing hard and keep getting better. If there was, a team that, wasn't any good and they had a lineman that's on an expiring contract, maybe make a play like that. But I don't know. And they don't really have too many guys that are going to bring back anything, right? Like to trade away. So
yeah,
I don't think it's there. I would have loved to see them go and get Amari Cooper, right? And give him a new deal extend him for 2 years and add him to the mix, but not to be. I'm sure he wants to go to a contender, and now he's going to.
Ooh, we're talking about the wide receivers coming out. I mean, the Patriots end up last. There's some great tackles, and I mean, either way, they'll have a great tackle or a great wide receiver.
Yeah, you betcha. Trade down and get a whole bunch of picks. We're not coming last, by the way.
I mean, in the bottom four, you can have your pick of an offensive tackle or wide receiver. So
that's the goal.
I mean, we don't have to waste too much time. Panthers, Commanders. Commanders are 7.5-point favorites. I think Dalton could keep it close.
Yeah, maybe. Where is it?
It's in Washington. Maybe he can. He always has the first game where he does it, and then after that, I feel like
remember me. Yeah.
I feel like most backup quarterbacks are like that. Like, oh yeah, hype the first game, maybe the second.
Couple games. Yeah. That's fair.
Then the dust settles because 38-20 to the Falcons. 36-10 to the Bears. I guess not.
Yeah.
And their defense is god awful. So the Commanders have one of the best rushing offenses in the league.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, here's one just for the line. Rams 7-point favorites over the Raiders. So the Raiders are just folding up shop completely, I guess.
Well, they don't have a quarterback. That O'Connell guy is hopeless. You might as well just leave the Minshew in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I guess who knows what's the same with the Raiders. I feel it's always good when you see that the D tackle from Miami who was hugely coveted. Everyone wanted him, and he just went to Vegas for the money, and now he's playing for nothing. So congrats. It's the same as Calvin Ridley. I love that. You see how upset he was? Eight targets, no catches. It's like, hey man, you had options to go to other places, and you chose. You no, I'm going to go to Nashville because there's no state tax. Well, you chose to go there, so I don't want to hear any crying out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Rams, because aren't they crazy injured though too? But
but I think Puka or Cup are supposed to be back soon.
Yeah, soon
or at some point. So
not this game,
and they just coming off a bye. Rams should do all right there.
I guess it would have been the game of the year if it wasn't for the Niners doing shit and then the Chiefs just kind of looking good, but not standard Chiefs. But Chiefs-Niners afternoon game, Niners favored 1.5 points.
Well, that's good at least. So that's I guess that's why they didn't put any other games in that slot,
Yeah,
expecting everyone's just going to watch that game.
yeah,
You
that'll
say
be a good
the
one.
Niners are favored?
Yeah, 1.5
Okay,
at home.
so I'll take the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much just take Mahomes when he's getting points, right?
You
That
have to.
seems like a safe bet.
Yeah, and off of did the Niners have a bye week?
No, but they played Thursday, so
Yeah.
kind of the mini bye. But
Mm-hmm.
is their running back back?
Oh yeah, I don't think so. I feel like he's gonna be out for a bit.
Did you hear about that? The prop that we lost out on
Oh yeah, you're
with
saying what was it
Bud
again?
and his brothers, and we each picked one each game,
Hmm.
and all three cashed, and then he had Jordan,
Mason.
whatever his name was, Mason,
Yeah,
and he was rolling. He needed, I think it was like 84.5 yards total, and he had
yeah.
like 75 in this halfway through the second quarter, and then he got hurt, and he just stood on the sideline for the rest of the game. We're just sitting there watching it, going,
No.
"God damn it!
Such a bad beat.
Oh, terrible."
Especially when you look at that one, that was probably the easiest out of the ones that you had was him getting over 85 yards.
Yeah, he had 75 literally like 6 minutes into the second quarter. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a wash. It was you count it, and then no,
Yeah.
brutal.
Ooh, a must win for the Jets. Sunday night,
Yeah.
Jets Steelers. Jets are 1.5 point favorites.
And did you hear what Tomlin said today?
Mm-mm.
They might go to Russ.
What?
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
They can't.
yeah. It wasn't a definitive, but he's definitely getting snaps with the first team. What is? I don't understand. Like, what is?
Yeah.
Like they're 4-2. If they can make a goal line stand against the Cowboys, they're 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fields isn't setting the world on fire, but he's not turning it over. He's running for first downs. He's making stuff
Mm-hmm.
happen. Like,
Yeah.
does Russ make them better?
No. And then you just create bullshit, just kind of
Yeah.
controversy on the team with, Russ comes out, they lose a game or they lose two.
Yeah.
You've got Team Fields versus Team Russ, or at least now everyone can kind of be like, oh no, Fields is playing good. Keep him in.
Let's roll.
I get it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
That one's confusing to me.
Wow. Well, I sure hope not, because I love Fieldsy. Also have him in fantasy, so we need him to stay around.
Well, he ain't going to get much against the Jets. So
No, that's true. He's getting the bench on that one. That's for
yeah.
sure. That'll be a great game, especially Devontae there.
I don't know about
Rogers
great.
looked.
It's going to be an absolute rock fight.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be. It's under city all day long.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is the lowest over under the week. Yeah, 38.5.
Yeah,
it is.
Got to be.
Oh, Broncos Saints 37.5. But aside from that,
yeah. Speaking of rock fights,
yeah, that's like a fucking pebble fight.
Yeah.
2 Monday night games.
What?
We've got
Really?
And one's good and one's okay. Shit, kind of. Ravens, Ravens Bucks, the good one.
Ooh.
Ravens are 3.5 point favorites, and I would take the Bucks points. I think it could be a 3 point game.
Yes, they can pass on them. Anyone can pass on the Ravens.
It's true. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Well, a big one is Didn't Evans get banged up? Did he come back yesterday?
I thought he was like in and out of that game. I thought, but maybe not.
Yeah, if he's healthy, that'll be a high scoring one.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Now I'm worried. Now I'm worried.
Chargers Cardinals.
I was going to say, who haven't we heard yet?
Yeah, Chargers Cardinals.
At least.
Yeah.
Herbie, Tyler, Harbaugh.
Yeah.
There'll be something interesting will happen. Like, hopefully Harbaugh doesn't have another jammer on the sideline.
No doubt.
That was weird.
Definitely. Comes back too. Like you just
Herbert looks a little healthier.
It's okay. Yeah.
Like that week off, like Herbert looks okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a bid, man. Chargers are making a bid for a playoff spot. They'll be in the wild card mix.
They have a good defense, and obviously Herbie can be all right. They run the ball like crazy, so
yeah.
Chargers are 2.5 favorites. I'm going to take the Chargers to beat up on the Cardinals.
All right. Some not bad games.
Yeah,
I can live with that.
That's all right.
I wish they would. I wish we could split up the Minnesota game, and then what was the other awesome game in the morning?
Texans Packers.
Yeah. Those need to be on different times because
no doubt.
Plus, I'll be up at 6:30 a.m. for the Drake May show.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome. You just roll the Jags. It's gonna be so good.
if they don't fire Peterson after
Oh,
they
they're gonna get.
lose,
He's gonna get fired because we're gonna put a licking on him.
he damn well better. Battle of 1-5 teams. Oh my god.
All right, we didn't need to throw that part in.
Trevor Lawrence only 3 interceptions. I thought it would have been much worse. He does look pretty bad.
He does. What did I hear his record was the other day? He's like
Ooh, can't be
18
good.
games under 500 or something.
Oh my god.
It's not good.
I would like to see, because if we're seeing like Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold kind of turn around
Yeah.
I want to see Trevor Lawrence in 3 years on the Steelers or on pick a team, the 49ers. I guess it wouldn't be the 49ers, but
Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, go somewhere where, or you know what, be like trying to convince that idiot in Cleveland.
yeah.
If you can ever get rid of your guy, we got another high price quarterback for you.
Oh my god. Oh, not for Trevor. Please, not for Trevor.
Watch this. Watch this.
That'd be too good. Well, all right, we got through all the games. I mean,
Yep.
any other last little bits? Should be a good
I
weekend.
don't think so. I definitely like I said, I'm sad about last week. We missed it because, I mean, Kirky rubbed it right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
You in your rankings that we went through that week, you had Jalen Hurts ranked 20 spots ahead of Kirk Cousins. 20.
I stand by it. This is for like the whole season. Hurts has been to the Super Bowl and won multiple playoff games. Kirk's won one playoff game, and Hurts has like his whole future ahead of him. Still, he still has like 10 years in the game in the league. Cousins has shown us nothing.
20 spots. Come on.
What's Kirk done? Kirk has done absolutely nothing. He's been in
thrown for over 40,000 yards in the NFL.
I mean, so he's good at fantasy stats and corrupting people's banks because he takes it all. But come against winning teams, he's got like a sub 500 record, playoffs, one playoff win.
It used to be people would get all over him for his primetime record. He's been pretty good lately. He's been pretty good lately.
He's getting better, but I've seen enough of him where Hurts still has 10 more years to do it. Kirk's done nothing of. Hurts has done more in 4 years than what Kirk's done.
In 4 more years, Hurts won't be playing anymore.
He will be.
No.
But, I mean, you're probably right that he is a product of his environment in terms of good running the ball and offensive line. And But I know, I was like, he's always been a winner, although it has been at Alabama.
He's a gamer. I will give him that. Like you gotta love how the kid plays. He plays his ass off, and you can see that his team loves him. He's a leader, right? But
he's got the clown Sirianni in front of him.
That's maybe get rid of him and he's a lot better because you can see how much better he is when he has AJ Brown, right? Like suddenly he can complete some passes.
AJ Brown has the best in the league at like using his body to not do offensive pass interference and just create that little space with like his box out catch.
Yeah,
he did that twice. He did that twice.
He's so good.
Where you would think a defender would be able to swat it away, but he still manages to get enough in there to not use his hands or anything, just his whole body.
Yeah, he's so cagey and he's just a physical freak. He's impressive to watch.
Definitely.
Sure glad that we drafted N'Keal Harry instead of him when Tom Brady was still there.
Oh yeah, definitely was the best decision.
And the rumor is he actually cried about it because he wanted to go to the Patriots. So That's wicked. Good job, Bill.
Yeah. Attaboy, Bill.
You didn't bring that up on the Manning cast last night, did you?
No. Bill just crushing people, too. He's taking shots at everyone.
I love it.
When he has
I love
time.
it. So I laughed so hard last week at people right away when they fired their coach. And they're like, Belichick did this. I'm like, you people have not been paying attention. He hates the Jets more than anything. And then last night he just went nuclear on the owner. That was fantastic. Sure, I can only imagine what he's saying today about now the owner. You see the owner? What did he say today? He said something like, I may not be making the smartest moves, but I'm going to just make this trade anywhere. Something along those lines. It was, it was, what was it? You'll Hal. I'll send it to you if I can't find it right now. But yeah, this is his quote. Woody Johnson on the 2 and 4 start. Thinking is overrated. You have to look forward. Thinking is overrated.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a quote.
You have to look forward to the games you're going to play. He's a buffoon. I love it. It's fantastic.
All right.
Jets are going to jet, baby.
Attaboy.
They're going to keep on jetting.
No doubt. All right. Well, that does it. We'll wind things on up. Faneverland.com. Thanks for helping on, Blaze.